Here at Big Man, Alaska, up here in Anchorage, Alaska, and we are currently I'm uploading a video to YouTube. It's my weekly update video that I normally get out. This one talks about what I went through during the week with my fasting, the situations I had, the hiccups, and stuff like that. And I did a little bitty review of a fasting application that I'm using. Now, in the meantime, I'm probably doing too much at the same time. I'm cooking. Uh, I got some frozen burger patties in the Instapot Vortex air fryer, and I'm getting those cooked right now as I'm trying to fumble through all the settings here on YouTube to get my video uploaded and ready to go for later. I'll probably have this video posted sometime later on this afternoon. And Donna, hello, Donna and Amber, both of you. You guys are like super reliable when it comes to these live streams. I appreciate you. Awesome. But yeah, right now I'm literally doing like 12 things all at once. And again, I should probably think about this stuff beforehand before I actually hit the live stream button. But I'm currently working on some settings on YouTube to get everything set up for today's video that we're getting ready to upload here. And we are pretty much almost done with that. And it's going to take several hours for this to actually process and get ready to go up on the screen and stuff like that. But let's see here. Let's see what's going on. Let's see if I'm actually on the TV. Yep, there I am. All right. Okay. So we can click down from there, up, over, and hit the like button. But I wanted to try something different today on the live stream. I've just been trying to get this thing set up on the TV somehow. That way I can... Oh, there it is. All right, cool. Yeah, we got it working. Did you eat when you got home yesterday? Let's see. I did not. I ate about pretty close to midnight is when I ate. So I fasted for 20-something hours, and I was starting to feel a little bit better. So, all right, got to click a couple more settings on the computer here to get this off and running, and YouTube will send me a notification when this is ready to go. We're going to pop off and head on into the kitchen because my burgers are getting pretty close to being done. And hopefully I didn't screw them up because I'm trying to do too many things at once here. All right, we're going to just simply rotate these in the rack. But I'll show you guys what I got going on here today and why I titled this video Carnivore Confusion, because I got too much going on. You know, I got videos being uploaded. I got to move these around a little bit. And man, these look amazing. Okay. And today I made a mess with these. So we're going to put that back in there. It's probably going to be a little loud. We're going to hit that again. And this, by the way, is the Insta Vortex Plus air fryer. This has been one of my favorite air fryers to use. And I don't know exactly how everything on it works. I'm still messing around with it. I do want to talk a little bit more about this product as we go because it does have a really cool dehydration feature on it that I want to try out. Possibly make some like carnivore type chips or something like that. But this right here is my problem today. I have this big giant slab of meat, and I bought this at Costco, and when I got home with it, I didn't have time to process this and actually get it into the right size, you know, for storage and stuff like that. So now I got a big giant piece of meat. I'm trying to figure out how to defrost it. It was sitting in the refrigerator overnight last night, so it's been in the refrigerator for over 24 hours. And let's see, what is this here? I don't even know what it is. Top sirloin trimmed. So once this gets thawed out enough, I'm going to have to actually break that out and try to figure it out, because I don't know. I'm new to all this, guys. And this is what the community is good for. It's because we kind of help each other out, I hope. I don't know. I don't have a smoker. I'm sorry. I would love to smoke this piece of meat. I don't have a smoker. I do need to cut it up into some steaks. You know, hindsight's 20/20 when you get back from doing a Costco run and you're busy. you get these things at home. I got the burger meat all processed up in the burgers, but then I got this bulk meat I got to figure out, and hopefully I can get that done sometime today. And I don't know how soon I can actually cut into it if it's frozen. So I mean, if you guys got any good ideas of what I can do there, I don't know, because I don't know. It's a big giant piece of meat. I never really messed around with bulk meat, especially in this size and quantity before I started carnivore. And the carnivore community, actually, they're the ones that kind of got me into this stuff. Hello from Hong Kong. Hey, I appreciate you jumping in there. I'm Big John here in Anchorage, Alaska. We talk about the carnivore diet. We talk about fasting, weight loss, and everything else I've been doing for the most part. I'm just trying to stay as busy as possible and lose weight, and hopefully help anybody else that might need some help as well when they're, looking at a weight loss journey or something like that. But this last week I was incredibly sick, but I was sick in a different type of way. Since I started the carnivore diet, everything has been a whole lot easier to overcome as far as seasonal illnesses and viruses and stuff like that. So I've been fortunate there. I mean, I don't know if I had the bird flu, if I had COVID, or what it was, but it was pretty nasty, and it was nasty for, a good solid 2 days, and then it kind of started tapering off. But it started in the back of my nose, and it worked its way, down into my throat. It got into my lungs. But since I started the carnivore diet, I've been able to get over these sicknesses like literally split. It's like, wow, that's so fascinating. And I think a lot of it is because I'm getting away from the ultra processed foods and the seed oils and stuff like that, the inflammatory type products, the inflammatory type products that would affect my breathing and my lungs. So once I get away from all that, and this crud gets down inside my lungs, I'm still coughing once in a while, but I'm coughing a really nice, healthy cough. It's actually a productive cough. It's not like a shallow, desperate, I can't breathe type cough. So that's super nice. Similar, but only animal products. Let's see what's going on here. Donna said, do you have a slicer? I do not have a slicer. I wish. There's a lot of stuff that I would love to have, especially now that I've been doing the carnivore diet for over 7 months. I would love to have a lot of things. I just don't have the money right now. So we just can't run out and buy stuff. And I'd also like to do a lot more product reviews as we go. But this is stuff I'm going to have to put on the back burner, either until I can afford to buy new stuff, or somebody can actually send me things to check out and review. All right, see what we got going on in here. Everything's starting to look really nice in the air fryer. And we got some burgers in here. I'll flip you around. Now, I did these from frozen, by the way. So if anybody's curious, what they kind of turn out like, and they look pretty solid. Yeah, I like these. And this is the second or third time I've actually tried to do these in the air fryer. And so far, I have been really happy with how they turn out. They have a nice crusty outer shell, and the inside is like super tender. So it encapsulates all the juices and the fats and stuff like that inside the burger, so it's not all just leaking out. Unless you start probing it too soon, then you'll start losing some of the fat content in these air fryers. So I'm gonna let it run one more time on 4 minutes, and then we're gonna probe it, and hopefully I'll have a pretty decent temperature at that time. I might actually be able to eat some of these burgers, but I got to go check on the progress of my upload and see how long that's going to take. So like I said, I got like 30 different things going on here. Let's see. It says uploading 61% and 12 minutes left. Now that's just the first initial upload to YouTube for the video. And then after that, it goes through a series of processing extra details and stuff like that. And then I can actually go preview my video before it officially uploads to the internet. And then I have some selections I can do. I can schedule it for, to be put out later at a different time. So I always like to go to YouTube and I check the live streams, like who's live streaming and what time their live stream's getting over, because if we have big YouTube carnivore channels that are all live streaming at the same time, it's kind of pointless to just toss your video out into the matrix. You want to wait until everybody's out of the live stream. Then they'll be more likely to, check other information or look around and click on other carnivore related topics or channels and stuff like that. Because, a lot of us here in the carnivore community, we like binge watch this stuff. We want to know, what's going on with people. We want to know how they're doing because we care about one another. And it's just a fun, great community that so far that we've been involved with. I've been super happy with it. I've never been in a community like with the vegans or vegetarians or people even doing keto that was just so super helpful. Because, I don't know if anybody else has gone down the keto road, but my brain hurt so bad when I was trying to do keto because there was 1,001 ways to really screw up keto. And also the same with the vegan and vegetarian diet. I found similar aspects to that too. I just had 1,001 ways. And it's a lot more complicated than just eat vegetables. It's a lot more complicated than just, be on a keto diet and stay in ketosis. Because, if you really narrow it down, you have a really small sliver that you can do. But now if you're doing a meat-based diet, like I'm doing with the carnivore diet, I have all these different options. I have burgers, I have bacon, I have ham, I have eggs, I have butter, some dairy products if you can handle it. And it just works out so great. It just works really well. Let's see what we got going on here. I was thinking shaved steak. Man, I want some actual steak out of this. There's a lot of fat on that piece of meat there. So I'm hoping that I can get it to a point where I can actually start carving it up into steaks. Like I said, hindsight's 2020. If I processed it beforehand, I would have still had to watch a YouTube video, to see how to cut it up correctly. And I don't have the best knives either. My knives are inexpensive Amazon knives. Well, that's not a good one to show. But the problem I have with a lot of these Amazon knives is the coating. They get these nice pretty coatings on these knives, and over time, just washing them with soap and water, peels that off, and it looks like crap. But as far as the blade goes, the blades are pretty good, but you got to sharpen them quite a bit. And once you get them sharp, then they cut through stuff. And something I found out when I was processing hamburger patties from a chub is that it's super important to sharpen your knife even when you're cutting through hamburger. So the first couple of times I was like hacking through. It was like using a hacksaw trying to cut through the burger meat. And I apologize, I still have a cold, so I might be coughing once in a while. But I was like doing a hack job cutting through the burger meat, and it was kind of like shredding the meat a little bit and just making the burger patties off. So I found out if I take my knife and I sharpen it, and then I cut through the burger meat, it cuts through like butter. It actually works really well. I was pretty happy with that. So I had really consistent burger patties this last time around, and being able to cook them is a whole lot easier and a whole lot quicker that way. So I'm thinking we're about ready to check the temperature on these. Should be getting pretty close. Now I do like how this one here has a light. I'm getting pretty close to the screen there. Turn that around. But I like how we have a light option, so I can press the light button, and it'll light up in there, and it'll show me the mess I've created from leaking stuff everywhere. But that's kind of handy. I like that. See if I can get everything set up here a little bit, because I do have to check the temperature on these like real soon. Set that down right there. I'm gonna get my handy dandy little Taylor temperature gauge that I got. I love this thing. I use it all the time. Now I got it preset for the alarm to go off at 160. Now I can do this a couple ways. I can just pull it out and probe it, or I can actually put the probe in there while it's cooking. That's kind of fun. I didn't even know I could do that. But yeah, I'll get one of these in here. See what we got for a temperature. And it's really hot in there, by the way. So we are looking at 145, 150, 55. I think we might be done. I might be ready. Oh, there we go. And then the alarm goes off. That's super helpful and handy. I like that option where the alarm just goes off. Okay. Get you out and put off to the side. We're going to have some burgers here. Nice. There we go. Come on, you. Get on the plate. And you too. Come on out. Good times. Okay. Actually, I can use these too. I don't have to be all fancy about it. Okay. Boom. I'm happy. I'm hungry too. So, anyhow, that's the finished product. I need to hit cancel, right? I don't know. How do I shut this off? There we go. I hit cancel. Now it runs through a little cycle and it shuts itself down. But yeah, that's the finished product. I am going to want some salt. So we're going to be using Himalayan salt because I like a lot of salt on my burgers. And then we'll sit down and eat and have a little conversation about whatever you guys feel like talking about today. Because, yeah, like I said, it's been a pretty busy day. There is my lovely cat, Gray Bear, and my cute little dog, Sadie. Let's say Ohio State fan. Hey, how you doing there? I'm Big John from Alaska, and we talk mainly about, weight loss type stuff, carnivore related topics. Now I eat an all meat diet, and so far this has been the best way for me to actually stay on a really consistent weight loss routine and schedule is by eating all meats. And I know when I first thought about it, I thought this is some vegan voodoo crap. Somebody just flipped the script and turned it into meat. I thought it was absolutely insane. I did not think that I would ever be doing it myself because, I've tried serious type diets. And a lot of people call this carnivore diet like a fad diet. And it might be to a couple people, but yeah, it's definitely not a fad diet. This is a thing. It actually works. I mean, you regain health, you regain mental clarity, you regain everything super fast. And that's why I do it. Is because I started noticing these things when I first started the carnivore diet 7 months ago. That I was regaining mental clarity. I could talk to people. I could have conversations. I had less anxiety, less depression. I was able to get out of the house and start doing things. And that's a lot of the hurdles that I've been trying to get over. Oh, man. Holy cow. So, like I said, I cooked these in the air fryer from frozen. The first time around was 12 minutes. And at about 6 minutes into the cook time, I flip them over. And then I swap the racks around. And then I put it back in for another 12 minutes. And it didn't finish the whole cycle, by the way, to get up to temperature. But it tastes like there's butter on top of these. It's so freaking good. Oh my God. And a little bit of this is always helpful. A little bit of hot sauce. I like it. I'm not going to use a lot on here. I'm actually going to put a little bit on the side this time. Normally I just put it right on top. And sometimes it gets a little bit too much on there. So we're going to put a little bit on the side. But these came out super tender. Like the outside is almost crunchy, but it's not. It's like just, that's like, so good. Yeah, that's great. That's good stuff, man. All right. Let's see. That is the building block for testosterone. Absolutely, Jake. So that's another beautiful thing about the carnivore diet is I was morbidly obese. I was 435 pounds. And right now I'm down around 300 and something odd pounds. So I've managed to lose at least over 120 pounds of weight in the last 48 weeks. And a lot of that has to do with fasting. It has to do with the carnivore diet. And the carnivore diet for me has been a really, really good maintenance type diet. Now, some people, they don't need to do fasting on the carnivore diet. They can just keep eating more meat and more meat and more meat, and they actually start dropping weight quicker. Now, my body, I have a little bit slower digestive system, so I'm just on the other side of the spectrum. So I need to implement fasting here and there. I don't have to get overly dramatic to have some pretty good weight loss and see some really good health benefits with the way this works. So yeah, but 80-20 burger patties, there's just enough fat content in there to give me the right amount of fat I need for digestion. It makes me feel healthy. It makes me feel satiated, by the way. I mean, just it's so nice when you just feel right. Now, if I were to go out to a fast food restaurant and, get like McDonald's French fries or just get French fries anywhere that were deep fried, I mean, I would feel horrible afterwards. I mean, most of us do. Even when we were young, we felt pretty bad. But since they changed the ingredients for how they deep fry French fries in the 1990s, I think it was, McDonald's and a lot of other companies switched over from beef tallow. They switched over to a product of, vegetable oil, soybean oil, really inexpensive products. And they were basically just pulling the wool over our eyes and just selling us garbage. And it's been garbage ever since. I mean, there's so much science that goes into how they make garbage French fries. It's baffling to me. I love Trump and Forrest Gump. Right on. Okay. Let's see, Shannon. Oh, wow. So you're over 100 pounds down in 7 months. Actually, it's a little longer than 7 months. I started carnivore 7 months ago. My overall weight loss journey, it started 48 weeks ago. This is week 48. But I've managed to keep over 120 pounds off for that time period. And a lot of people, when I first started, because when you're new on YouTube and you're a new face, and at that time my face was swollen, I was incredibly fat, and I came out here talking about, basically what I'm learning, how I'm doing it, and stuff like that. People were pretty mean, and I got over that pretty quick. I just like, yeah, good, you're mean. I don't care. Piss off, go away. I'm fine. But one person said that we're getting health advice from Fat Man, and I was like, I thought about it. I backed away, and I walked away, and I was like, you know what? That's a good point. You are getting health advice from a fat man. At that time, like this was like 5 or 6 weeks into my weight loss journey, I was talking about what I was doing and what I was learning. But then I came full circle and realized, I was like, you do realize that everybody out here that's talking about health, nutrition, and weight had a problem with their health, nutrition, and weight at one point, and now they're finally healthy and they're still talking about it, because that's kind of what we focus on after a period of time. I mean, it doesn't matter who you are, what type of life you live. I'm a truck driver. I live in Alaska. I live in a trailer home. I figured out a thing or two about weight loss, and that's what I'm out here to do. Is I share those experiences, how I did it, the fasting benefits, the carnivore benefits, even keto is a topic I talk about, even though I don't do it. I mean, I don't care if anybody's a vegetarian or vegan, as long as they find something that works wholeheartedly for them. That's all I care about. It's like, man, great. I tried it. It didn't work for me. So I tried something else. Guess what? That didn't work for me either. And then I reached out to doctors, nutritionists, and healthcare providers and stuff like that for more advice. And I just got more convoluted type answers and stuff that just never made sense. I joined groups. got gym memberships. None of that worked. I mean, all of this weight loss so far is without a lot of exercise. I've done it with little to no exercise. That's how I got started. Let's see. Oh, thanks, you guys. I can't wait to hit 100 down. Hey, Shannon, it is totally possible. I mean, anybody can lose 100 pounds if they want to. Now, the hardest part is losing the weight after that 100 pounds, because once you get to these big, giant milestones, your body kind of gets adjusted to that, and it's just trying to maintain itself for a period of time. I think that's where I'm at right now. So like, yeah, I've been stuck around. I've been down below 300 pounds a couple times, but then my weight just keeps, jumping back and forth a little bit between 15 to 20 pounds at most. And then it usually recovers by the next week. But it's not dramatically dropping down. So I tried implementing in a little bit more walking this week, but unfortunately I got sick in the process. And it probably has a lot to do with the change in the weather, the temperature outside. Everything's just totally different than what it was a couple months ago when everything was minus, oh my goodness, 0. And you just walk outside and everything hurts. So yeah, I mean, the weather's warming up, the sun's starting to come up, but that creates a lot of ice and stuff for us. So it's hard to get out and walk around. Oh man. Yeah, this is good stuff. So last night I broke my fast a little, I think it was around midnight. I broke my fast. It was about a 27-hour fast. And I was just doing that fast, to hopefully complement what I tried to start doing in the beginning of the week. I was just trying to hopefully get some weight loss out of it, because as soon as you become sick and you're trying to fast, it's really important to slow down, slow your roll. You don't want to be fasting when you're sick, unless you got like a cold or a flu that requires you to starve it out. I can't remember if it is you starve the flu, or you feed a cold, you starve the flu. I don't know, one of those two. But I was in a situation where I actually needed some nutrition, so I broke my first fast with some chicken broth from a chicken soup the wife made, and that helped my throat. That really helped my throat. I could talk better by the following day. And I was getting nervous because I was just about losing my voice. And I'm like, I talk about this stuff on YouTube. How am I going to talk about this stuff if I can't talk? And so I was getting a little concerned. I was worried. Oh, man. Wow. I never, ever imagined that just like burger patties cooked in an air fryer, a little bit of Himalayan salt on top. I'm not drowning it in sauce, not like what you do with our salads. Now, I'm sure a lot of people can relate that they've tried to lose weight by eating more salads. Well, I have too. I did it for many, many years. I thought, well, I just need to eat more salads. Well, I did that, but I would ruin it. I would cover it in ranch dressing. I'd cover it in whatever was available. So I didn't have to taste the vegetables, because I thought the vegetables, in most cases, tasted horrible. Now, the vegetables here in Alaska, they do taste dramatically different from any vegetables you can get from the lower 48, or, vegetables shipped up here. I mean, if they're grown here in our own soil underneath our next to 24-hour daylight up here, they actually taste way better. Tomatoes, for instance, the first time I ever ate a tomato like an apple, I was in a dump truck. And a guy showed up from one of the local farms. I was dropping off some gravel to him. He came out with a bag of tomatoes. He's like, hey, you want a bag of tomatoes? And I was like, ew. I just got up here from the lower 48, and I'm used to the mealy type tomatoes you would get from like McDonald's or Wendy's, or, just they're not very appealing. And I was kind of expecting that. And he's like, oh, no, these taste like candy. Trust me. We talked a little bit, and I tried one, and I was like, wow, it did taste like candy. It was amazing. But I don't like tomatoes anymore, because I found out that tomatoes affect my mood. They make me really cranky and hormonal. I'm very sensitive. I respond way too quickly to things that upset me a little bit. Like this guy down here with all these weird little things. I don't know what he's doing, but there he is. Okay, Rob. It was from a carnivore doctor. I just can't think of her name right now. Could be Dr. Boz. I like Dr. Boz. She's got a lot of cool stuff. Dr. Boz is amazing. After doing some research, I researched like everything. The doctors, Carrie from Homestead How, Bill Knott, everybody that's been out here on YouTube that I find interesting. I try to look back way through their journey, see where they started out, how they got to where they are, because that type of information there gets me a better understanding of, how I got to where I was. Now, the one thing that almost 90% of the carnivores that I've found on all the platforms have in common is a lot of us started off with health conditions like sleep apnea, being morbidly obese, pretty bad anxiety, depression. We all shared those common denominators, and then we moved on, to actually starting to lose weight. But it was a confusing journey on the way down, because we were, we all started off with way too much exercise in the beginning. I became injured quite a few times just trying to get more exercise. And that's what they teach you. They get out and move more, go walk more, go for a run, go for a jog, jump on a bicycle. But when you're 435 pounds, you gotta think a little bit differently. You got to do things a little bit differently. Just walking up and down a flight of stairs could have been a travesty at any moment. Oh yeah, that's good. Lovely. Yum. Now, typically people do responding to Amber here. They're talking about, I've heard 36 hours is optimal for autophagy. That is only optimal for autophagy with somebody that's actually gotten to the point where they got their metabolism working correctly. So when I was 435 pounds, it took me 72 hours for the basic ketosis to start kicking in because my metabolism was so broken down. And that was the whole point of actually doing a 5-day water fast. It sounds crazy. It sounds as crazy as eating a carnivore type diet, especially when you're getting started. But so I did a 5-day water fast, and that first 3 days was the most important. And that was actually to get my metabolism running. So it took me approximately 72 hours. And then all of a sudden I felt a change. It was like my body was shifting gears. It was going into ketosis for the very first time for a very long time. Because when you eat the standard American trash diet, you're going to McDonald's, you're buying Subway, you're getting a lot of fast foods or anything from a convenience store or the center aisles of the store. It wrecks everything. It tells your body to stop doing anything, and it just starts packing on all that extra garbage. So after that first 72 hours, I was starting to sweat. I didn't sweat before that. I could kind of sweat, but I didn't sweat like that. Like I was actually in ketosis. My sweat glands were actually working. I had sweat coming down my face. I was urinating nonstop. That was the water weight that was leaving my body in that 5-day water fast. 30 pounds came off my frame. 30 pounds of weight came off my frame in 5 days of doing a water fast. So I went from 435 down to 405 in 5 days. That's a lot of weight. I don't know. You go pick up a 30-pound weight and walk around with that, and then just do that for a couple hours and then set it down and go for a walk. That's a big difference in the matter of 5 days. And it wasn't as hard as I thought it was. The hardest part doing a water fast that big, and that long for 5 days was that just trying to deal with all the addiction type situations you get into. I was addicted to pizza. I was addicted to fast food, sugary stuff, carbohydrates, you name it. And my idea of eating healthy at that time was a Sprite, a Sprite for a drink, or, ordering a Chick-fil-A at one of the restaurants, or a fish fillet. And now that I've learned what's in these things, I'm like, oh, that's not even a good option now. Now that I figured this stuff out, that's not even a good option at a pinch. So I would tend to avoid stuff like that, because there's a lot of processing that goes into even the healthier type of fast foods that we get subjected to. All the bread, for instance, here in the United States, it's not good for us. I don't know. I don't even know what a gluten is, but I know now that if I avoid glutens, I don't have any problems. I don't have the same type of digestive issues I had when I was eating glutens. If I don't eat like spinach, for instance, or too much broccoli, I don't have kidney stones anymore. Go figure. Nuts, same thing. I was eating nuts and broccoli and spinach, all under the advice of a nutritionist. And I paid the price for that. All the excess fiber, the plant matter, the fiber created constipation in my gut. I almost needed to go to the doctor and have my poop surgically removed from my boohoo. And I was literally like, I don't want to live anymore because it hurt down there. And if you've ever been severely constipated, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that was dangerous. That was a scary situation. Let's see. Sally, God bless Dolly Parton. Well, there's a name you don't hear very often anymore, Dolly Parton. Wow. But like I said, when I started, doing that severe or serious type fasting, I became almost like an addict to want to learn more about fasting. I was researching 24-hour fasting, intermittent fasting, OMAD type fasting, which is really no different than 24-hour fasting. But then I was also doing, I was changing the intervals of my meals, and I figured out how to lose weight while I slept. And people are like, huh? You can lose weight while you sleep? And I'm like, yes, you can lose weight while you sleep. That's where you lose the majority of your weight, anyways, is while you're asleep. So getting good quality sleep, staying down for a good solid 8 hours uninterrupted, super beneficial for weight loss. I mean, for one, it gives your body a chance to reset. And it's also important to hopefully try to have your last meal a minimum of 3 hours before you actually lay down and go to bed, because that's actually considered fasting time. Now, where we screw up as Americans is we'll eat dinner around 5, 6 o'clock at night. And immediately after dinner, we'll wait a period of time. We'll sit down, watch a movie, and then we'll usually gorge on some junk food, some chips, have some ice cream, stuff like that. And then immediately after that, we're going to have a sugar crash, and that's when we actually go to bed. Well, that screws up your fasting time, from a normal health. This is why they say don't eat after 6 o'clock at night. That's what they're talking about. They're just not explaining it in English so people can understand exactly why this works. And I've heard it so much throughout my entire life. Like, hey, you need to do this. You need to do that. You need to do it this way. Okay, well, why? And then I never get an answer. Everybody looks at me like I have 8 heads, like I'm an idiot. And I'm like, well, I am an idiot, or else I wouldn't have asked you. I mean, that's the whole point of me asking a question, is to hopefully get an answer. Oh, that's what menopause sucks. Messes up sleep. I feel sorry for anybody going through menopause. I've seen some pretty traumatic situations as a result of menopause. Like a hug from Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton's getting old now, isn't she? She's been around, man, all my life. So yeah, she's got to be getting pretty old by now. So now these burgers are a little bit pink in the middle, but I probed these, and these are over 160 some degrees inside. So they're good. It is possible to cook your meat, have it right to temperature, and have a little bit of pink in the middle, and it's totally safe. I've been making burgers like this for a long time. And if it was dangerous, guess what? I would have had an issue. So what I normally do is I get a big giant chub of meat, 10-pound chub of ground meat, 80-20, 70-30. And then I'll portion it up into approximately quarter-pound burger patties. And then I'll toss them in Ziploc bags. So I put approximately 4 burger patties in each Ziploc bag. I stack them up nice and neat. I toss them in the freezer. And then whenever I'm hungry, that's what makes this super fun. Whenever I'm hungry, I take those frozen patties. I either cook them in a pan or I toss them in the air fryer like I did today. Super fast, super easy. Doesn't take a whole lot of time. It takes about the same amount of time in the air fryer as it does in the pan, but you get 2 totally different situations as far as texture and the outside crust and stuff like that. When you cook it in the air fryer compared to letting it just sit in its own juices in a pan, or even cooking it out on a barbecue grill, you lose a lot of the love that's inside your burgers when you throw them on a barbecue. That's why I like cooking them in a pan. Even the air fryer seems to encapsulate more of the natural juices and fats than cooking it out on a barbecue grill. Big roast in the crock pot with a pack of beef liver. Delicious. That does sound good there. Let's see. Mike said that. Yeah, I would love to snack on that too. The liver tastes like bone marrow. Now I've never put liver in the crock pot before. Now, when I did start carnivore, I was having issues right off the bat, with because when you're doing the transition, you feel like you're having issues when you might actually be, and then sometimes you're like just overthinking the equation and you're not. So I was adding in a lot of organ meats. I was adding in liver and stuff like that, and some heart once in a while. But it was I had to like really cook it. I had to really cook the liver, like in a cast iron skillet with a lot of bacon fat. I had to put a lot of salt on it, and I was probably overcooking the liver, so I was losing some of the nutritional value from the liver. But that's how I was kind of getting started, because sometimes I felt like I was having maybe like an iron deficiency or magnesium deficiency or something like that. But when you've been taught for so many years that you cannot eat this way because of X, Y, and Z, you're going to have a heart attack, you're going to have a stroke, you're going to be clogging your arteries, a bunch of crap. When you've been taught all that for so many years, and then you actually find out for yourself that that's not true. You know, if I eat a bunch of eggs, I'm not going to die. If I eat a lot of bacon, I'm not going to have a heart attack. Now, if I eat a lot of bacon and I eat a lot of eggs and I go out to places like McDonald's and I eat stuff from the convenience stores every day and I drink stuff like Red Bull and drink a lot of alcohol, absolutely, you're going to have a heart attack and die. That's kind of how you promote a heart attack and die. I mean, I can tell you in 100 different ways how you can promote a heart attack and how you can get up to 435 pounds extremely fast, because I did it. I mean, I know 110% how to get up to 400 pounds, because I was doing it day after day after day. And I just wasn't stopping. I wasn't recognizing that I needed to stop. Let's see, what is the weight loss? And did the fast help clear up the carbs you ate? I'm not sure who you're talking about, if you're talking to me or not. Most of the food in the stores is fake. Yes, absolutely, Josh. Most of the food is fake. It's not the basic ingredients for food. To our eating is fake. Yeah, that's the problem here in the United States, is it's profit. Everything in the United States is about profit. It's about making money. You know, we took all of our quality manufacturing and we shipped it, we forced it out of the country with our laws and our regulations. This, you know, people are like, oh, I don't like China. I don't like stuff made in China. Well, we forced all our businesses to go to places like China, where there's a lot less rules, regulations. I mean, less EPA. You know, they can do whatever they want over there. You know, and actually make stuff that we purchased, and we demand these products over here in the United States. So it just seems so counterproductive to make China the enemy when, you know, we literally forced everybody out of this country that was making us quality jobs and stuff to eat and stuff to, you know, like toasters and microwaves. We forced them out of here with all these rules. So, yeah, we got to buy our stuff from China. That's kind of how that works. Let's see, Josh, I agree. If everyone would just eat real food, they would be better off health-wise. They would be far better off health-wise, Amber. I agree with that completely. And I found that out the hard way. You know, I found that out by just being a complete utter mess. Just a slobbering boob. I couldn't have a conversation. I couldn't even look a person in the eye and have a conversation. I was just always confused about everything. You would tell me something important and I would forget it about 30 seconds afterwards. It doesn't happen anymore. I mean, since I started the carnivore diet, I remember and retain stuff so fast. You can give me a piece of literature and I can bang right through it. I can read through it. And that's something I couldn't do before the carnivore diet either, is I couldn't read. I couldn't read, you know, sentence after sentence, because my eyes were constantly bouncing around from all the sugars and all the carbs. So I'd read one line and then I'd try to read the next line and I'd be 2 lines down, and then I'd try to figure out where I was and my eyes would jump up again, or left and right, and I'd miss words. It was horrible. It was horrible. I don't like being like that. And, you know, since I've been doing YouTube and I have to respond to a lot of comments, it's important to be able to read like intelligently. So yeah, there's a lot of benefits here. Yeah, it's fake. I was talking to you, big man. Oh, okay. So I didn't get over my carb addiction for quite a while. Even when I was fasting in the beginning, I was eliminating a lot of the carbs, but the addiction was still there because I didn't fix this up here. You got to fix your mindset. And that was a process that took a long time. It took almost 90 days to even get to the point where I really wasn't craving carbs But then I was fighting with other things, the sugar addiction. So it's like one step at a time. You got to figure out, okay, let's try doing a total elimination diet with fasting. Fasting and the carnivore diet and stuff like that, they're elimination diets. You're eliminating a lot of the sugars, the carbohydrates, all the excess just stuff, just trying to get it all out for a while. And once you get it all out for a while, you can start to, manage your mindset and change your lifestyle. Because if I didn't change my lifestyle, if I didn't change my vocabulary, the way I thought about food, the way I talked about food, food is fuel. We use food for all kinds of things in our body. And if we treat our food like our medicine, we don't have to get all these crazy prescriptions. And I was always getting prescriptions pushed on me. And I even worked as a go tech with one of the big pharmacies here in town. And it was just so sad to see all the pills going out every day to these people, for one reason or another. And a lot of these situations could have been remedied just by implementing a healthy type diet. It doesn't have to be all meat. It could have been a keto type diet. It could have been a vegetable diet. I don't care. Just get rid of a lot of the bull crap. Stop buying the stuff in the boxes. And yeah, it'd be light years ahead of the game. Oh, I made a mess. I did it again. I don't know about you guys. If you like sriracha, like this is pretty legit stuff. I like this. The other sriracha is pretty good too. I don't even know when Tabasco started making sriracha. It's something I found at Costco. I don't mind it. There is a very, very, very tiny bit of sugar in there. Not so much that it's going to trigger anything or screw me up. So I've been continuously using it. Let's see, all the industries are working together to profit off each other. Yes, they are. I think they're also intertwined with big tobacco and stuff like that, because big tobacco had a mass exodus not too long ago where a lot of their scientists and stuff were pretty much out of a job. So they had to move on to the food industry so they could figure out how to, make more money. And people were actually, becoming more addicted to their food as a result of these scientists coming over there and figuring out, the exact amount of sugar, the exact amount of flavor, sweeteners and colors, because for some reason, color is especially with young children, color is an indicator of flavor. I mean, if you show that weird, funky orange that you find in Kraft macaroni and cheese, now, many years ago, they did an experiment where they took the color out of those. They also did this with, I believe, Cheetos. They didn't change in one iota of the flavor profile. Everything was the same. The only thing they did was take out the color. Kids would not eat it. They thought it was gross because it didn't have that associated color of bright orange. Now, if you were to put a blindfold on the same kid, and this study was done too, where they put a blindfold on the kids and then they fed them, crap. They told them what it was, Kraft macaroni and cheese. And then they took a bite and they said, oh yeah, that's delicious. They're eating the white, non-colored Kraft macaroni and cheese. And they asked them, what color is that? What color do you taste? And they said, orange. And then as soon as they took the blindfold off and the kids saw that that was what it was and it was white, flat out stopped eating it and said, no, I can't eat it. It tastes like crap. I mean, just crazy how color is associated with flavors. Let's see. All industries are working together for profit. Yes. Let's see. Howdy there. Todd, Carnivore Cure. Yeah, we're feeling much better, by the way, Todd. I'm currently getting that video uploaded right now. I'll probably have it out either today or tomorrow sometime for this week's update. I appreciate you dropping in there. Now, Todd was a gentleman. I was trying to fast with him this week because he was doing something like an 86-hour fast. And I wanted to be a part of that. It was starting at a different time than I'm used to. Because normally when I start my fast, I start them at 6 p.m. because I just had dinner. Dinner is one of my most favorite meals. And I wanted to try a different fast starting at a different time. And I believe this fast started at 11 a.m. Mainly because I wanted to see how I would do through the dinner time. As long as I can make it through dinner, without having a craving or jump off the wagon in a fast, then I'm fine. I'm fine until the next day around dinner time because that is when I want to eat is around dinner time, no matter what. That's how things are working there. But I mean, getting through dinner wasn't the worst part. The worst part was I got sick, and it was him that advised me like, hey, dude, just just, eat something, be healthy, get yourself healthy. We can start this again next week. And that's kind of where we're at right now. I plan on doing that. So, maybe we can start this fast up again. I'm not sure what his fasting plans are for next week, but, I'm up for a decent fast no matter what, anytime, because I've spent so many years wrecking this body. I got a lot of extra weight to lose. There's a lot of people out there that have fasted for almost a year. All they do is they drink water, electrolytes, and take vitamins because they were so big. They were so big. Can't remember his name. I just looked him up the other day because I was trying to figure out if he was still alive, and apparently he is. Something like the fabulous fasting fat man or something like that was his tagline. But he's still alive. I guess he possibly lives in New York or something like that. But it took me a while just to get that far because he just up and abandoned his YouTube channel, which is crazy. He's got a whole bunch of stuff going on his channel, and people are still watching his videos. But he's living his life. He's having a good time now. Apparently he lost some weight. Let's see. For sure, man. I am starting another 84-hour fast on Tuesday. All right, Todd. Yeah, I'll try to jump in on that one. I really like the fasting app you recommended. I did have a chance to do a review on that, and it will be in this week's video. So I did do a little bit of talking about the fasting app that we're using because I do believe it's helpful. Now, when I first started fasting, I was using a different type of fasting app, and it was called the Simple Fasting app. And at that time, it was truly simple. It was really easy to use. There was a lot of educational properties to it that helped me understand ketosis, autophagy, the timing of everything. And if you don't know that stuff, you're just losing weight aimlessly. So it's super important to know approximately, because everybody's a little bit different. Everybody loses weight at different times. Autophagy kicks in at different times for different reasons. The hormones have something to do with it, your mood, your attitude. So yeah, I mean, everything is relevant in that aspect. So Todd, yeah, I made these in the air fryer in the InstaVortex. I cook them frozen, but yeah, they were absolutely amazing. I did test them, so yeah, they were all internally above 160, and they still have a lovely pink to them. Makes them nice and soft, nice and juicy. Still safe to eat. Good stuff. 96 hours. Oh, is that where you're at right now, Todd? You're at 96 hours on your fast? Awesome job, dude. Right on. Yeah, congratulations, Todd. Way to go. Yeah. I mean, you almost did a complete 5-day fast. I mean, which works. I mean, it does some tremendous, you get some benefits from it, even if you don't get a ton of weight loss at the time, but you get a whole lot of, it helps. These crazy fasts, they help with trying to get over your cravings. That's one thing that I like fasting for now is because, even on the carnivore diet, we get these weird off the wall type cravings like this fruit basket over here, for instance. That was my enemy for a real long time. But my problem isn't so much the fruit basket and eating a piece of fruit once in a while. My problem is I'm a binge eater. So you put a whole plate full of ribeyes in front of me, guess what I'm doing? I'm eating through those ribeyes until I get to the bottom. And the same thing goes for the fruit basket. If I start getting into fruit, I don't know when to shut it off. I don't know when. That's why meat works for me. I mean, because you can only eat so much meat, and your body, your brain, everything just says, nope, that's it. Doesn't taste good anymore. You can't put another bite in your body. But for some reason, there's always room for dessert. And why is that? You can always eat dessert no matter what. You might have to, I'm going to go lay on the couch with my hand in my belt buckle because my pants are cutting off my gut. But I'm going to have room for that apple pie in a couple hours. I don't miss that stuff. I don't miss the apple pie. Now, occasionally I miss the ice cream. And there was a long process to where I was missing specific foods, like pizza, for instance. I love pizza. So I have alternative type pizzas. I have a carnivore chicken crust pizza that I like to make when I'm having a binge moment. And yeah, I might have a little bit of extra cheese on it. It'll slow down my weight loss, but I won't be getting into fast food type pizza. Now, another safe pizza that I use that also helped keep me in ketosis was those cauliflower pizzas that I'd buy at Costco. There's two different kinds, and their calories really aren't bad. You can eat pretty much the entire pizza, and if that's the only thing you ate that day, you're still in a calorie deficit for that entire day. Just eating the whole pizza, and that's my problem. Is you put a pizza, you make a pizza, or you order a pizza. I would want to eat all of it, all the pizza, whatever pizza's left over, and when I'm done eating it, I would come back later and want to eat the rest of it. So that's how you get up to 435 pounds and above. It's so weird how it happened, and it happened in such a way, and it comes on so incredibly slow. You don't really your eyes and your head have a chance to just adjust to your naturally growing size, and you don't really see yourself as 435 pounds in the mirror. And the same goes for when you have rapid weight loss. So once you start losing the weight, and we look in the mirror, we have what is that called? Aerophobia, whatever, argophobia or something like that. It's just how we look at ourselves. You still see yourself as a fat man. So it comes both ways, which is horrible. Electrolytes are so important. They will take away the fatigue and exhaustion. Also, more important part, fast is 2 days after. You cannot break it with sugar or carbs. Yeah, you don't want to break a fast with sugar or carbs. You also don't want to break a fast with really, really heavy protein type meals like this, because you risk potential of having chronic diarrhea for a period of time, because your stomach hasn't created enough bile, especially if you're doing anything over a 32-hour fast. You want to break it kind of soft. Depending on your lifestyle, depending on your diet, if you're doing like a keto type diet, it's safe to break a fast with an avocado or something like that. You wait a little bit, sometimes an hour or two, then your stomach has created enough bile to actually start adding in some heavier type of nutrition. Now on the carnivore diet, I broke my fast, my extended fast that was over 30 hours. I was using stuff like bone broth or chicken broth. That works really well. I've even broke fast using eggs. Eggs isn't hitting the gut so hard. It's not trying to digest raw meat, or not necessarily raw cooked meat even. I mean, it's just harder to digest this stuff. And if you don't have enough bile in there, it's creating a potential storm you could be having on the toilet later. Let's see, VT, yep. We've been conditioned to believe the veggies are superior on the food pyramid. Yes, absolutely. I know I was. I had a real hard time getting over that. That's why all this is important to share. I'm just sharing my experience. I'm not, preaching like, hey, you guys need to eat meat all the time. I'm just saying, hey, I found tremendous benefits from eating, just burger patties. I can't afford to go out and buy expensive steaks and stuff like that. So I eat 80-20 burger patties, 70-30 burger patties. I stay away from the 90% because there's not enough fat. And when I don't have enough fat, it's similar to me eating, too many vegetables, where I become constipated from the excess amount of fiber. Oh, but yeah, it's just a freaking mess, And then we watch our children, we watch our other relatives on the holidays, and it's like every time we turn around, we have an addictive type holiday, and we got birthday parties one after the other. And then we have Christmas, and then we have Easter, and then we have, this or that coming up. We have anniversaries, and everything seems to be revolved around sugar and sweets and cakes and cupcakes and cookies. I mean, the donut shops are super popular. We abuse that stuff now. It's horrible how we abuse things. And my dog. Come on, dog. Let's go. You go out. Hey, you. Come here. All right, go outside for a little bit. See you later. Go potty. Come back. You know the drill. I let the dog out. I think she thought I was going to feed her one of these burgers. But no, I need to eat these burgers. I need to finish getting that video completely uploaded. Where are the one? We are the one. I don't know. Let's see. James says, yes, I'll do it with the grilled chicken nuggets from Chick-fil-A. It's a kept secret. I never regain what I do. So the hardest part about eating, chicken nuggets from anywhere, fast food wise, is the oils that they use to cook it. They're typically inflammatory type oils, like they use like soybean or vegetable type oil. And for people like me that are like severely sensitive to stuff like that, we try to avoid those types of oils, because that is exactly what creates edema in our feet, where we start to retain water. So if we stay away from anything that's been deep fried or processed, stuff like that, we have a lot less swelling overall. We have a lot less swelling in our skull. And I never realized how swollen my head was, until I started the carnivore diet, and I got just really deep into it, and I just kept making it more serious and more serious. And I tried and I struggled. I fought with myself to eat more meat, to eat more fat, try to figure it all out. And I was just overthinking it. And I was overthinking it because I was so paranoid that I was going to be doing harm to myself. But as you get further along in the carnivore diet, you realize, wow, this really does work. And your mindset starts to wrap around it. That's why there's so many people, millions of people are doing the carnivore diet right now. And they're finding tremendous, tremendous benefits. I mean, we got women on my channel that are viewers. They're up in their 80s. And they're doing the carnivore diet, and they're having tremendous success. They feel better, they look better. They say everything in life is improved. They feel like they're going to live a little bit longer. Their blood pressure is improved. Their blood sugar, their diabetes is, improved. Everything just seems to improve with this type of way of eating. So, yeah, why not? It's crazy. Let's see. What else is going on in here, guys? All right. You're kicking out these videos. Glad to catch you live. Don Schroeder. I like to do these vertical lives just because it gets me out in the community a little bit more. People get to see me a little bit quicker. And, because it's really hard to get seen when you're on YouTube, unless you're making the very ultimately best videos out there. I've seen all kinds of strategies used on YouTube. YouTube actually recommended this for my channel, wanted me to give it a try. I didn't know if I wanted to do it or not. And they said, just do it. Do it. Set it up this way. Boom. It'll work. And yeah, kudos to YouTube and vidIQ and all them out there. TubeBuddy too. Yeah, totally works. These vertical live streams really work. I'm back. I was bringing in groceries. You got any meat in those groceries there, Todd? Sally. There's a doctor who uses carnivore for his dementia patients, and he's seeing great mental results. I mean, there's actually scientific evidence out there now talking about this stuff. The benefits of, depression, schizophrenia, anxiety, dementia type stuff. Some of these studies are even claiming that dementia is preventable. That's good news. And there's one thing I can testify to just from my own experience. I'm a lot less forgetful. You tell me something, I'm going to remember it. As long as I hear you. Talking about my wife. As long as I hear you, I will remember it. But if I don't hear you, I'm not going to remember it. That's like a husband and wife situation there. The brain absolutely loves fat. It needs fat. It doesn't matter if you're doing a carnivore type diet or a vegan type diet. You absolutely have to have natural fats in there, or else you become dumb like I was about 48 weeks ago, where I had problems just understanding the simplest of things. I mean, 48 weeks ago, you could have laid out everything I know now right in front of me. I would have argued it. Nope. Won't believe it. I mean, even when I started doing the carnivore diet, I did it as a recommendation from one of my friends who has cancer. And he said he's doing it. He's having some great results. I just need to do it. And he used to yell at me, just eat meat. And it's just freaking eat meat. Stop making it so complicated. But then I would explain to him, okay, I'm trying it. I'm having some issues, and in his mind, because he's been doing it for a long time, it is as simple as just eat meat to him. But he's already naturally adjusted to the meats. He's burning fat for fuel instead of carbs. So it took me a while to get to that point. Healthy body, healthy mind. Absolutely, Jesse. I know both ends of the spectrum kind of correlate to hand in hand. Todd says just a bit. I got a 20-pound brisket, 7-pound chuck roast, 8 dozen eggs. Ooh, yeah, 4 pounds of bacon. Well, you're going to have to eat some of that stuff before you start your fast on Tuesday, bro. You're going to be busy. You'll be making some food. But, yeah, this is like the second or third time I made these burgers in the air fryer. They got a real nice texture on the outside, like super crunchy. They taste like meat. They don't taste burnt. Super tender inside. We're using a little bit of sriracha to help give them a little extra flavor. And then I just put Himalayan pink salt on top. Boom, works. Oh, that's a good one. It's so funny how different each one tastes. Because they're not completely uniformed. They all have a little bit different flavor. They have a little bit different fat content. And like I said, when I took the first bite of these, after they came out of the air fryer, it gave me the sensation that they were covered in butter. Oh, yeah. Right now, this one's like a super creamy. I would have never thought I would be explaining meat. Like super creamy. And having a really nice, smoky type flavor overtone on the nasal part of your palate. It's just, so good. Let's see. Speaking of crunchy, what is a quick and easy to whip up for a snack when you're on the go at work? My favorite snack for at work, if you have the money, because chomps are expensive. Up here in Alaska, they're like over $1.25 a stick, and it's just a beef stick. You can find those at Costco. It's a healthy beef stick. Now, another option that I used to take to work with me all the time was hard-boiled eggs. I'd get a whole bunch of hard-boiled eggs cooked up, and then the day before I'd go to work, I'd shell a few, and I'd put them in a Tupperware. 3 hard-boiled eggs will fill you up any time of the day. So if you're looking to just have a snack, eat one of them. But if you're looking to eat lunch, eat 3 hard-boiled eggs, and yeah, there you go. That's all you need. And then you'll be just fine until dinner time. Just drink plenty of water. And that's one of my go-to things is water. If I drink water, I'm fine, no matter what. I mean, if I'm fasting and I get hungry, I start having a craving, I just drink water through it. And then as soon as I'm through that period of time, because my craving window is between 4 to 7 o'clock. And then after 8 o'clock, I don't have any more cravings after that. I'm not hungry anymore. So that works for me. Water is just incredibly helpful. And when I've done water fasts in the past, and I've done water fasts, like especially when I was going through breakups and bad situations that I've had in my life, I'd literally go out and buy a case of water with the little 1 liter bottles. They're about this size, but it's every time I got hungry or felt like I wanted to reach over and grab potato chips or something that I didn't have in the truck anyways, I'd grab something about this size full of water and I would just pound it until it was all gone. And that craving would go away just like that fast. It was a helpful tool. Gator meat is amazing. I like combination of chicken and fish. Delicious. Let's see. You like scrambled eggs, Todd? I agree with Carnivore Scott about scrambled eggs. I mean, it really depends on what you use to cook your scrambled eggs. Because if you're using a product like avocado oil, not carnivore, but if you use a product like that, which we do here, we use chosen avocado oil spray. Your eggs tend to absorb whatever you cook it in. So if you use bacon fat, it'll absorb the bacon fat, or butter, it absorbs the butter. But sometimes it's just too much. So I really don't like my eggs scrambled that much. I like a nice over easy egg or an over hard type egg. Let's see. Donna says, Dr. Baker slices steak into thin pieces, and then put it into Cozen dehydrator, making his own beef jerky snacks. Soft scrambled and brown butter is my favorite. That sounds good, Todd. I like that. Heather is looking for easy to go snacks to work. Yeah, when it comes to snacks, if you eat enough food, if you eat enough healthy protein type food, if you're talking about a carnivore type diet, if you eat enough healthy type protein foods and healthy fats and stuff like that, I don't feel like I ever require a snack after I leave the house. I don't get hungry like that anymore. I do get hungry like that if I don't eat enough nutrition before I leave the house. So, to always save myself the problem is I try to keep healthy carnivore type snacks, in my bag and with me at all times. That way I'm not tempted to run to the store and buy something, because when you go to these convenience stores, it's very, very hard to navigate what's healthy and what's not. Even the beef jerky at the convenience stores, Slim Jims and stuff like, they're just rancid full of nonsense type stuff. And some of those meats will actually make you sick if you're not used to eating them anymore. So I have a hard time with that. Great live. I got to run. I appreciate you there, Todd, as always. We'll catch up with you on Sunday during your live stream. If any of you don't know Todd, he runs the channel, The Carnivore Cure. He does live streams every Sunday. He's really reliable about getting on there. He talks about his weight loss journey from 700 pounds down to where he's at now, and he's doing pretty well. I've been following him for a long time, trying to pick his brain, also trying to learn more about his story. And when we talk on the phone, he has some of the best freaking stories about his weight loss journey, about his just own life and stuff like that. And it's just fascinating to listen to him. I think he started coming out of his shell. The last time he started doing a live stream, he did one of these vertical live streams, and he had people just cracking up. We were all laughing, and it's just like this stream here. It's a good time. We all get together. We talk about carnivore weight loss type topics. Sometimes we get a little bit off the rails with our personal life and stuff like that, but that guy has a knack to just rope people into a conversation to where we just didn't want to leave. And it was a beautiful thing, by the way. This is exactly what he needs to be doing on YouTube. It's just sharing, because people are interested in his story. It's one thing for me to say, like, hey, I'm down to 300 pounds now. I used to be 435, but you don't know how I got to 435. You don't know how I felt when I was at 435 pounds. And Todd has a very unique way of explaining exactly what was going on and going through his mind at that time. He could just pull it out just like that. It's funny. It's great stuff. Let's see. Do you work 12s? I work 12s, and there are so many days I don't get to eat until the end of my shift. Right now, if you're talking to me, Amber, I'm not working at all. So yeah, that's why there's an uptick in these vertical live streams. I'm just trying to stay connected. I'm trying to stay busy and relevant. When I'm not doing these live streams, I'm working on other YouTube related stuff for now. I do get a lot of emails. I have an offer coming up that I'm looking into, and I might start talking a little bit more about that, but I don't try to talk about stuff until it's actually come. It's just like the Amazon affiliate link. I was talking about that, and that was frustrating. It was even more frustrating to find out I was affiliated before they notified me, and they specifically said they were going to send me a message that I was going to be an affiliate at some point, but they never did. So how do you overcome sugar cravings? Well, sugar cravings are a tough one to get over, because how I got over sugar cravings is I turned to fruit. Now, the fruit is not carnivore. Fruit does not work well, in my opinion, with carnivore, especially in a my type situation, because I'm a binge eater. I'll eat, if I got into sugar, I would eat a lot of it, just like anything that I get into. So same with fruit. So if I get into fruit, I get into a lot of it. I have a hard time negotiating little bits. So like even with these burgers here, I have to eat 4 of these burgers in order for myself to feel full and satiated, which is a little bit right around a pound. But if you were to put 2 pounds of burger meat in a bowl and then add some eggs and maybe some cheese, I'd still eat it. That's the problem with binge eating. It's really hard to control yourself when you're a binge eater. And that's why I like to fast a lot, because fasting helps teach me to control those binge type moments, and I can hopefully work, in a better type, healthier direction, because you can absolutely overeat meats and fats too. It's just a lot harder. Because after this is gone, I gotta get started on some other stuff. I do good all day, and for some reason at 3 a.m. it becomes uncontrollable. Ooh. My best advice for that, VT, is drink water. I mean, drink water. Now, another thing that Todd mentioned is that when he adds vinegar, just before he starts eating meat, it gives him a boost of energy. Now, I never put that correlation together, because I use my electrolyte drink, and I use it with apple cider vinegar, and I use that throughout my work day if I am working, and it gives me a boost of energy. So, this is why the community is important, because sometimes you can put 2 and 2 together with your own situation, and it makes perfect sense. But yeah, try some, if you have apple cider vinegar, try that. But I like to mix my apple cider vinegar with a lot of water, a little bit of salt, and make my own electrolyte mix and some lemon juice, and it works super, super well. Heather, yes, that too. Sally, oh my God, thank you. I didn't get it. Amber, a long story, but basically the end of 92, he chatted me up for 15 minutes. He never got my number. That's a different conversation there. Abandoned ship. I don't know what that's about. Let's see. I'm going to back up a little bit. I'm a fan of the carne asada on the weekends, but through the weekdays before I work, prep something like New York strip steak to push me through the day. That's something I would do as well. So if I had steak or anything like that, or even burgers, I would cut them up into bite-sized bits. Take those with me. Sometimes I would just take the whole burger patty. My wife made some sausage patties the other day, and I snacked the heck out of those. Those were good. I ate like almost all of them. They're like Jimmy Dean's sausage. Not the best sausage in the world. It's got a bunch of shit. I got a bunch of stuff in there. Beep. But they worked really well. I felt pretty good after it. And it seems like the further I transition into staying away from all the other crap, staying away from even the vegetables, the more I stay away from stuff like that, the easier it is for me to tolerate, those little innocent type ingredients that might sneak in through stuff like sausage or beef jerky bought at a store or something like that. I can actually process that stuff a little bit better. Kind of like when we were younger and we started eating unhealthy food, like Little Debbie snack cakes. I mean, if I were to eat one of those right now, it would be too sweet. I'd probably spit it out. It just wasn't that great. OJ, big man. Nope, I don't do orange juice, that's for sure. Orange juice is just pure sugar. That's like putting nitrous oxide in there. Shoot me to the moon. Now, when I thought I was eating healthier and doing a little bit better, I was buying a lot of cranberry juice and stuff like that. And then I learned that the cranberry juice I was buying was just full of crap too. Because I like the cranberry juice cocktails and stuff like that at Walmart. But I was also mixing in, I'd fill up a glass of cranberry juice and I'd put a shot of apple cider vinegar in it, which seemed like it was working pretty good. But I didn't realize that the cranberry juice cocktails were just full of sugar. And again, it's just from lack of knowledge. We're not paying attention to what we're consuming 9 times out of 10. OJ Simpson. Huh. Okay. You notice a reduction in any inflammation? Absolutely, every day. I mean, the inflammation is like just almost gone completely. It's so nice, especially in my feet and my legs and my knees, because there was a time there I could barely walk. And if I was walking, I could only walk for a short period of time, and then I'd have to take a break. And there was so much inflammation going on inside my body. I had a hard time just driving around in a truck. I would drive around and I'd get sore from sitting in the truck, and I'd have to get out, walk around the truck, get back in, because everything was so inflamed and hurt so much. And since I, dove in like head over heels into the carnivore diet, and I'm about 98%, meats and fats. I do have a little bit of off, carnivore stuff once in a while, but I really, really try to focus 100% on carnivore all the time now, because it's been proven. I mean, not that other people are proving it to me. I've been proving it to myself that, like, hey, this really works. This is really helpful. Why would you want to go back the other way? Why would you want to eat a bunch of garbage? Because there was one time where I quit nicotine like cold turkey. It threw me completely off the carnivore rails. I put on weight so fast. I mean, because I was just eating crap. I was eating crap food. I was eating sugar. I was eating carbs. I did not care. My mind was just so wrapped up in not smoking. I did not care. I thought I could recover from it. I found out it's a lot harder to do than I thought. And it really threw my mind for a loop. So I do vape to curb the cravings, but that's it. I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. But yeah, I require a little bit of nicotine just to keep my mind focused on what I'm doing right now. So that's one of my many sins. Child favorite pepper. Oh, child favorite pepper. What? Hold the child. I've got great benefits of pairing peppers too. The hotter, the better. One of my favorite peppers is habanero. I don't know if I'm just weird in the brain, but I love habanero because I feel like it's a sweet pepper, I think. It's hot, but it's got like this sweet flavor to it that I just really love, like a smoked habanero. Ooh, yeah, it's really nice. It's got that nice sweet overtone. It's kind of like when we used to, add salt to chocolate. Kind of gives me that type of feeling. It's just absolutely amazing. Traditional scorpion pepper, that's too hot for me. And flank steak. And an off-cut and consistent pairing. Yeah, I couldn't do scorpion peppers. That's a little too hot. I'm very sensitive to spices too. All right. We have almost killed these burgers now. Live stream started over almost an hour and a half ago. And I need to get busy. And I got to pay the puppy tax. Give the dog some food. That's awesome. How about the way you cook? That's awesome. What about the way you cook your meat? You use butter and oils. When I cook my meat, I only use stuff like butter. I use a lot more bacon fat than anything else. I have looked into potentially creating my own beef tallow or ghee for that matter. Other options. But now, if I'm frying an egg, I tend to use avocado oil. Chosen avocado oil. We can get at Costco. It works pretty good. It's not on the carnivore plane, but it really does work pretty good. My fridge is looking bare, especially after I took this big behemoth out. All right, clear button. This thing. So what I got going on here, this thing's sitting in some water. It's actually starting to thaw out quite a bit faster than it was, especially in the fridge. But I got the water just trickling on there, so it's filling the bowl. It's kind of running out over the edge. I'm choking. Wow. But I'm trying to thaw this out enough so I can start processing it enough, hopefully by this evening, and get that put away. Wiping up the counters. I make a big mess when I'm doing stuff like this. I need to head on into the living room. We'll see how my video's doing, see if I can actually get this thing uploaded or not, or if it's done. Sometimes we get community guideline strikes and stuff like that, so we got to fix things. And then they tell us our videos aren't going to be monetized for one reason or another. That creates an additional headache. Let's see. It says my ad suitability's got a good check mark there. Everything looks like it's good. Let's see. Is the 4K has got 90 minutes left to process the 4K. That's something people don't understand is when we upload these videos, there's steps. So the initial upload, it goes into YouTube, and then it does a processing for all kinds of different stuff for copyrights, ad suitability, things like that. And this is like next level, type YouTube stuff. And then we have another process after that, and that's to process the 4K image quality. If you're shooting in 4K, which is a clear image, unlike this here, this is maybe 1080p if I'm lucky. It's probably closer to 780p. Let's see what Heather says. Heather, but I know where you're coming from with work. So, yeah, so then it takes like another hour to hour and a half. So when people like Bill Knott say that, yeah, it takes all night or sometimes all day to upload a video, it's horribly frustrating, especially if you live in remote Alaska. Even here close to downtown Alaska, it takes me hours sometimes. And some videos that I've uploaded have taken me literally all night. Like I'll start uploading it at about 6, 7 o'clock at night, and it might not be done doing all the processing it needs to do until 6 o'clock in the morning the next day. So there's a lot of time wrapped up in, doing any of these YouTube videos. All right, now it's asking me to choose if I want it to go public. So we're going to let this one go public right away. So if any of you guys are interested and want to check out my most recent video, let's see, the video title is going to be Carnivore Fasting Mistakes for Beginners. And the thumbnail is going to be Carnivore Experience. And we're going to hit the publish button right now. So if you want to go check that out, it's going to be up there and ready to go. Voila. Now I always like to share these to my Facebook and before I get done with them. And I do have to go back in. Let's see. What am I going to say today? Latest news. That'll work. I try not to get over explicit on Facebook because I hate Facebook as a platform. I really don't like it. If it helps drive some, Facebook viewers and stuff like that, that's fantastic. But other than that, I only like Facebook for its messenger option and marketplace. That's about it. Because it seems like here in Alaska, people stopped using Craigslist, so you have to start using, alternative sites like Facebook. Let's see here. Shut that down. Oh, bummer. I need to get back in there. So here comes the next problem is you got to create links and stuff like that. Then you got to make pinned comments, so people that go into the comments can see your pinned comment, what you might be saying to the viewers that day. That's something else I got to create. It's just all part of it. And it's the fun part of creating videos in my experience. So like you can either one first, do both simultaneously at the same time. There's a formula, no BS, to the T, eat less, move more, lose fat, incorporate some cardio, heavy lifting. You see, that's absolute nonsense, unfortunately, Jason. Is that eat less, move more. That was where I was when I first started losing weight. When I first made my very first video on YouTube. Eat less, move more. That was my thing. Let's see. Let's take a look at my playlist here. Yeah, we're gonna look in. See if I can look into this playlist. I don't want to play all. I just want to look at the playlist. Why?
When we first arrived at St. Jude, it was just Claire and I.
I didn't want that. I wanted to look at my playlist. Like everything has to be so complicated. All right, let's see if I can look at it. My playlist here. I'll just. Collaborators can add videos to this playlist. No, I don't want that. I want to look at my playlist. I don't want to hit play all. I'm not sure why I'm having technical difficulties here. Normally I can just go into my playlist and just check all the videos that I have. Ugh. Then it asked me a bunch of nonsense questions. But seriously, guys, if you've never seen me at some of my heaviest weights, like frustrating buttons, this right here, that's what I look like. When I first started this weight loss journey, it was absolutely ridiculous. I'm surprised I even got 49 likes on that video. I don't know what my views are. It was lousy. It was one of my worst videos. 502 views. That was over 10 months ago. That's how swollen my head was, just so you guys can get a good reference as to what I used to look like. And I had a really tough time actually making videos because my head was so swollen. I wasn't thinking correctly. It was horrible. Absolutely horrible. But all right, I am going to probably exercise is good for you, but it does not help in weight loss. Unfortunately, exercise is great for being fit. It is not great for losing weight, especially when you're 435 pounds, like that guy that I just showed you. That guy was in trouble. That guy has severe sleep apnea. That was me. He was having a hard time breathing. He was having a hard time thinking. He was having a hard time just making it through daily life. And as soon as I started the whole eat less, move more bull crap, and I call bull crap on it because yeah, I tried it. Eat less, move more. I was all in on that. Guess what happened? I got injured. I got injured just walking, just going for walks around the neighborhood. I injured my feet. I got plantar fasciitis. I had all kinds of tendon issues in my legs. I had issues going on my knees, my ankles. It was literally putting me down for 2 to 3 days at a time. Every time I thought it was a great idea to push myself out the door and do more than I should. So yeah, eat less, move more. Nonsense. With the carnivore diet, you can actually eat more, move less, and lose weight. Okay, I'm on board. You guys on board? I like it. You know, I am, because with weight loss and the carnivore diet, you lose weight, and once you lose the weight, it creates natural movement anyways. You're going to get up, you're going to do more, you're going to be able to bend over and touch your shoes and tie your shoes without turning blue and suffocating. Let's see, once you lose weight, exercise becomes more exciting, not a job. Absolutely. Absolutely, Heather. Once I started losing weight, just getting out and doing stuff, just the regular stuff, because even going to the shopping store or just getting in a vehicle was cumbersome. I was huge. I mean, I had a hard time. My gut was getting in the way of the steering wheel. It was uncomfortable to put a seatbelt on. I was just well-rounded. I was like way too well-rounded, which is dangerous. So once I got rid of all that and I got rid of a lot of the fat, over 120 pounds of just freaking mass, it was super beneficial. But I mean, if you're young and you're not to the point of that massiveness, where you're 400 pounds or more, then absolutely eat less and move more. That will help you. But until you can get down to a manageable weight, eat less, move more is very dangerous. It's a very dangerous thing to tell somebody that's morbidly obese, doesn't understand, that they can become injured really simply. There are some people out here that have dropped weight from 700 pounds, and then they try basic exercises and they wind up getting, shoulder issues or, issues in their knees or their hips or something like that because they're still extremely heavy and they're just trying to do simple exercises. So we got to be careful with ourselves. All right. Patch says work for me. Awesome. That's great news. I hope it does. Good sleep plus supplements plus better food quality. The food quality is so important along with the good sleep. Supplements are iffy. You don't necessarily have to have supplements if you're getting the right nutrition in your food. So, I mean, that's an iffy one. Now, a vitamin I used to take was vitamin B12, but that was when I was nutritionally deficient in vitamin B12 because I wasn't getting enough red meats. And that's where you find vitamin B12, unless you find some weird vegan synthetic version that probably, shouldn't be served at McDonald's on their French fries. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's where you get it from. You get it from red meats. And right now in my blood work, my vitamin B12 is way up. I mean, it's in the red. It's fine. Being like that, that's perfect. So that means when I'm fasting, I don't even require when I'm fasting. I don't have to take a vitamin B12 supplement even when I'm fasting. So that's the bonus marker there. All right, guys, I got that video up and running. If you want to go check it out, it is on my channel. So, and I like every weekend, I typically produce a weight loss update type video. Sometimes if there's not a lot going on around my weight loss, I might change up the video a little bit and do maybe like a product review or something like that. But we typically talk about, health, nutrition, weight loss, stuff tools I'm using, the way I'm doing things. And I just try to be blatantly honest. I mean, that's the only way anybody's going to learn from what we're doing here on the internet is you just got to be honest about everything so people can understand it. Because I could come out here and tell you how smart I am and use all kinds of big fancy words. And granted, I don't have many big fancy words because I'm just an average truck driver here in Alaska that's just trying to help people figure out how to lose their own weight and hopefully better their lives for tomorrow. But again, Amber, I want to say thank you. And Donna, if you are still here, I appreciate you guys for being my moderators. Yeah, you guys are awesome. Thank you very much. I'm gonna fumble on out of here. I do have to take care of some extra stuff here on this weekend's video. But yeah, be sure to check that out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We get a lot of people come in here, every week that are just absolutely new to the channel, but they subscribe. But as long as they look at stuff, that's okay. So we can look through the window. All right. Thank you again, Donna. I appreciate you. And bye, Amber, and everybody else that decided to come on in and check this out. Thank you very much. It's a good stream. And if I hit this button with that finger, okay, that one.